Hey everyone, welcome to Smash Trivia. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia to follow everything happening with me. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. So excited to get into this. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, in this series, I'm going to review everything Hulk, all the movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. Occasionally, not so geeky ones too. And I also like to mix things up once in a while by not reviewing anything. Hope you enjoy Smash Trivia Presents The Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening if they can please do something for me. Please share the hell of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. Now that we have all that important stuff out of the way, let's smash right into this episode. Hello, my Gamma friends. Today I'm joined by Annabelle from the Variant Vendetta Podcast. How you doing, Annabelle?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And we're gonna talk about the Percy Jackson and the Olympians TV show. I've been enjoying it so much so far. I believe there's two episodes left of the season. And I'm going to be doing another episode talking about the final two episodes when after those come out. What have your been your thoughts so far?
It's really good.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a lot riding on this because of I wouldn't okay, the second movie that they made was really bad, but the first one, I'm one of the people that actually kind of like it, even though it's
Hmm.
very different from the book. Um, but they did a really good job.
Oh yeah.
Like when I
I
first turned it on and you can hear Percy Jackson saying the opening lines of the first book, it's like goosebumps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm also in the same boat of liking the movies. Definitely like the first one better than the second one, but um I think I watched the movies actually before reading any of the books. Or well, watch the first movie before reading any of the books, and I think that actually like kind of I've changed my eye view when reading the books because you know how when you're reading a book you have to imagine what these characters are looking like. I was thinking of him even though I did know he is very young. I thought of him as looking like Logan Lerman and which made it for a really interesting thing when I watched this show because it made me realize something that I never really realized before, which is it's kind of messed up how they sent these children on such a dangerous quest, and like I because I imagined like someone that in like the age of Logan Lerman, and while reading the books, I didn't even think about how kind of messed up it is that Camp Half-Blood did that.
Yeah, right. Like I had the same experience as you because that movie, we were very young when that movie came out.
Ah,
So we didn't really have the luxury of reading the books before the movie
hmm.
came out. Um, so it was, you do imagine him to be like a
Hmm.
16-year-old, but I think he does say that he's 13 in the first book. But it
Yeah.
really is so odd watching this
Yeah.
because we're so used to Logan Lerman. And I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope he makes like some type of small cameo in the
Yeah.
next couple episodes.
I hope they at some point have him pop up. Um, I don't think he'll be in this first season since Walker Sorbo Walker or Orbo the actor playing Percy has said I'm pretty sure during press that he hasn't actually met Logan and which is though Logan has like done multiple messages for as towards the cast, basically like wishing them luck, and telling him he's really happy for them, which is nice. I so there's definitely no ill will, at least between the cast. So hopefully in the future we could get something like that. It doesn't sound though like Rick Riordan really wants like that to happen as he as so before this week's episode, there were a lot of people who were hoping that they would make a reference to the movies is of how they did the Lotus Casino by having Poker Face play again and he actually Rick Riordan said on Threads that that he refuses to let them reference those movies. So it's because of how bad they were.
I completely
So
understand. I get it
yeah.
too. If somebody took my book material and
Oh yeah.
completely like threw it in the trash and made this
Hmm.
movie, I would be the exact
Oh
same way.
yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely understand where he's coming from. I still do hope for a Logan Lerman cameo at some point, but I wouldn't put my much bets into it because after hearing him say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and he doesn't even have to play a role if he's just like in the background or
Oh
even
yeah.
if they had like a photo of him on some type of wall somewhere.
Mhm.
I would be okay with that, but not at all. I'm good
I
too.
feel like I a good character I think for him though he probably wouldn't get cast as this character because I don't see them putting him in a character that's big but I feel like he could do a good job as Apollo, the god
Yeah,
Apollo.
I
I
could
feel
see
like that could
that.
be fun.
Yeah.
Like I could see Logan Lerman riding in a eyeing in a sun on thing fly across the sky.
Yeah, I could see it too. I think that would be fun. I just personally really like Logan Lerman too, so.
Yeah, yeah, he's a great actor. There was a film they came out with recently. I've been wanting to see it, haven't and seen it yet. It's called Love and Monsters. It looks really fun.
Oh, I think I did see the trailer for that.
And particularly looks fun to me. Both there's comedy in the trailer. I think that it seemed great, and also I just love of post-apocalyptic sort of wasteland movies. I'm pretty sure that's one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I really want to see that. And I like I said before, I really like Logan Lerman, so I'll watch anything he's in.
Yeah. Um. But before we get too far into this, I want real quick so I put on the Discord that we're both in and asking if there's anybody who wanted some on us to put their thoughts in and Whitney responded I from the Going Merry podcast and she's basically said that she wants us to talk about general thoughts as we're gonna be doing. And also another thing that I was definitely wanting to do already, but this is a great excuse to get to. It is she asked which actors do we think are best suited as the characters of all the ones that they put into the show so far. Um, I have and I definitely have a couple that I absolutely loved the casting of. But I'll let you go first.
Yes, there is definitely three. Well, actually, there's four people that I think are very, very
Mhm.
suited for their role. I'm trying to look up the cast right now because I don't want to butcher any names or anything. Um, Jason Mantzoukas, I think that's how I
Yes,
pronounce his
yes.
last name,
Yeah.
as Dionysus.
Oh yeah. He I
Perfect.
that was only one of mine as well. He's amazing in the role. He feels exactly like how I imagined this character when I was reading the books.
Yes.
He was perfect.
Yes, just one of those gods that's very in on himself, has a huge ego, and he can't drink, but he's an alcoholic.
Uh,
So it's like so perfect. He's such an ass all the time. This casting
uh,
was chef's kiss
oh yeah.
perfect.
I love when he's like um he tries to say he's Percy's father just so he can get him to go get him alcohol.
Right?
That was great.
Terrible. Ugh.
It,
Um,
And also, I think as well with that character, I know a lot of people would say that Jason Mantzoukas in most of his roles he plays is basically the same person. I would honestly say with Dionysius, it does feel different from most of his roles. Like the comedy feels like a different style of comedy, and you also do get these serious moments with him, and when he's away from the campers.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
that's so cool.
definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. I know him from Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Mm.
and he just kills me in that show. Oh my God.
Uh,
Everything he's been in has been perfect.
yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, is
Yeah.
uh he he played a crazy preacher dude in Ode in the Twisted Metal show for or Peacock. That I really enjoyed that, and also he played a drug-fueled old hallucination gremlin in a Netflix show a few months ago called Obliterated. That I absolutely loved him in that role.
Shut up. I have to watch that now. That sounds
Oh
hysterical.
yeah, it's amazing. He is this guy is I um unbeknownst to him was got a whole bunch of drugs because he ate this guacamole that one of their team members had put a bunch of different and psychedelic drugs into without telling anybody, and I had he's supposed to be driving a helicopter, but as he's driving, like all of a sudden this gremlin appears beside him.
Oh my God. Shut up. What? How do
Yep.
you find this stuff, John? You find the craziest shit.
Oh man, that was I saw a friend of mine on Twitter named Avon on that he had watched it, and he told me that this is right up your alley. Yeah, man. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch that. That was definitely he's definitely a perfect casting. What are your other perfect castings?
Um, Adam Copeland as Ares. I have never seen this man before in my
Mhm.
life, but I really think he portrayed the character of Ares very well.
I definitely agree with that, and I also haven't seen him in anything else before. I think he's a wrestler for something. Maybe I think maybe AEW wrestling. And yeah. Um,
Interesting. Wow.
I definitely really enjoyed him as that character too. Though outside of just us knowing Ares is an asshole, I don't really know a lot about out the character of Ares. So oh, I was I definitely I can't say a lot about like accuracy, but if I just really enjoyed how he acted in this.
Yeah, from reading the book and how he portrays himself in the book,
Mhm.
he did a very good job
Uh,
of mimicking
I
that.
don't. I honestly don't remember from when reading the first book, Ares appearing in it. Then again, and there's another god that appears in Ares in this first season that did not appear in the first book, and that other god is one of my I perfect castings. And you said there was you said I think you said there was at least one or two more that you had.
Yes. Even though we only saw him for a very split second, Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hermes, I think if we get more screen time of him, he will do an excellent
Mhm.
job of that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his conversations about being a parent, and I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, do you have a last one, or you want me to go into my ones?
I have one more,
Okay.
and it's Walker Scobell, our
Okay.
Percy Jackson. I'm still, I'm not all the way there. I'm still a little iffy on him because yes, we've seen some of the smart ass wittiness of Percy
Mhm.
Jackson with him, but I don't think he's fully selling it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's
Uh,
just the one
I
thing that
think
I'm missing from him.
I think definitely with these child actors, they're definitely like very much growing into these roles. And one thing where I'm really hoping that they don't wait a long time to get do a second season because that's one problem with having the actors or the actual age of the characters is they're gonna age out of those characters pretty quick.
Oh yes, but it's Disney. I
Oh
think
yeah.
we're safe.
Oh man. I hope so. The thing is, from when Walker was doing I mean press, he's already so much taller than he is in the series. It's like it's gonna be jarring when we get to the second season starting, and he's just a giant compared to how he looked at this season.
Well, they'll be able to hide that well because if the second season is the second book, that's when the Cyclops come into play. So they'll
Oh
be
man,
able to
that's
hide
gonna be
that by
nice.
putting a giant Cyclops next to him.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Oh, so for my perfect castings, I think I think of our main three actors, they all are doing an incredible job. Um, what and I think and I really appreciate with Annabeth how Rick Riordan has made it a point to be like you are my Annabeth. If anybody I like he's an asshole towards you because you're they're race swapping the character. Or doesn't matter because I said you were my Annabeth, and I honestly think it's such a beautiful thing that Rick told her that.
Oh, yes, definitely. And especially since, I mean, they're still kids.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah, this could
yeah.
potentially
It's
be a very hard thing for her moving forward.
Oh yeah, and she's gotten such backlash, and it's really sad the amount of
Yeah.
people who've hated on her for it. But I think she's done a great job. Leah, that's Leah Jeffries and then Aaron on Simhadri played and Grover. I really enjoyed him. I am. You already said. I had a couple of my I ones like Mr. D and Aries. But then one particularly that I really want to mention is Timothy Olmanson as Hephaestus. So that's what I was talking about who was not in the first book, but I really enjoyed the short time we had with him on screen, and I just love that they cast as Timothy Olmanson because what I've loved that actor since he was in my favorite show Psych as Detective Lassiter, but also I love that they cast him because I think it was like 2017, he had a massive stroke and that made it so he's been disabled ever since, and it just makes me so happy to see that he's still being able to get work after that, and that they and as well that they allowed him to incorporate his disability into the character by having the character use a cane.
Yeah, I thought he did great. I completely forgot that he wasn't in the book because like the this whole amusement park it is in the
Mhm.
book, but him himself is not, which I was completely forgot about. He did an amazing job.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it was
I really liked him.
I thought that was absolutely perfect casting the casting, and he just seems so sweet, which is refreshing to see for one of these gods odds, and um it's also very different from like the what I know him from of him playing Lassiter, which Lassiter, while he is a fun character, he's definitely someone who you would be insulted if you call him sweet.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really enjoyed that. Another one I think is great is Chiron. On I see who played him. And the actor's name is Glenn and Turman. And I think he did a fantastic job as Chiron in this. And I also wish is that for characters like Chiron and On and Dionysius, I wish that they would have like once an episode us seeing at the camp them talking about something and then I just so we can get to see more of Chiron and Dionysius and not just them being in a couple of episodes.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, they're
I
not,
understand that they're not in the book like
yeah,
that.
they're
Just
not a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I just like those castings so much that I was like, want to see more of them.
They are really good. He is great. My only issue with Chiron is not with the actor, it's with the special effects department because the
Hmm.
horse part, it's not very looking like a horse. Do you understand what I mean? Like they
I
could have
get.
done a
I didn't
better
even
job
really
on
pay
it.
attention much to the horse part. But yeah, I can see that being a problem. And two last ones I had I have that I really liked enjoyed them is Virginia Kroll as Sally Jackson, and I think she did a great job, and Dior Goodjohn as Clarice. I think it's so nice that they actually did a Clarice in the first one in this, unlike with the movie.
Right? Oh my God, dude, they left out so many key important parts of the entire
Oh,
series in that
yes.
first movie they made. Like, I don't get it. I don't get their
Yeah.
thought process with that. But to see it all come to life finally and with really great
Oh,
casting is
oh
just
yeah.
it makes my Percy Jackson heart
And
very happy.
there's one last one I gotta mention. Um. And that is Jessica Parker Kennedy as Medusa.
Oh
She's
yeah.
so good.
She did good.
They I know her from watching the Flash TV show. And she's very different in that as her character is like a has a very childish personality versus we have this and it's so much different I loved her in this and I love the changes that they made to Medusa from the books to make it closer to the original story of Medusa where she's not just this straight up villain and like what the original books had.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody loves a villain, but everybody forgets that the villain becomes the villain because of something else. Like
Oh yeah.
something
Yep.
had to have wronged them. And in this case, it was the gods. And what I really like about the show is that they're really emphasizing that the Greek gods are like really assholes. They're
Oh
really
yeah.
not cool with each
Oh
other
yeah.
or their children. Like they're kind of all dickheads.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely one thing that I remember reading when I was a kid that I ended up really loving and it really gives you an idea of how all these gods are is Rick Riordan did a giant giant book called Percy Jackson's Greek Gods, and it was just as a whole bunch of the old stories put together with either with Percy Jackson narrating, and there was a bit of a comic comedy tone to everything instead of it just being serious like what the all the original stories were. But if you read that, you really get an idea about every single one of the gods and all and how absolutely awful all of them are.
Yeah, I mean, look at fucking Aphrodite. Like
Yeah.
she's really bad.
Oh yeah. And like honestly, Rick Riordan has he created such an amazing universe with so much lore with this, and I hope that Disney adapts everything. I honestly think if they do, if they do adapt everything, this has the potential to grow to be even bigger than and something like Harry Potter, with the Harry Potter movies if they do everything.
That's a very bold statement, John. That's very because Harry Potter, that's something that
I know,
is never gonna
but
get
there you go.
torn down. But it's gonna take them a lot of work, but
Mhm.
I think they could get there.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
they could be better or bigger, but I think they'll be right up there with them. Um,
I think they so maybe not bigger, but they don't but I do think that they could make this be massively popular if they go all out adapting everything from the Percy Jackson series, the Heroes of Olympus, is Trials of Apollo, the Magnus Chase, is and even I think it would be a great if did an adaptation of that Greek gods book as like a anthology a series that's just narrated by Percy Jackson. I think it would be they there's so much potential with this series.
oh, there is definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could. I completely forgot. I knew about the Heroes books, but I completely forgot about all of the other ones that he's written
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are
Like,
on my list of to be read. It's a
yeah.
very long
So,
list.
yeah. I haven't read all of the books. I've read a couple of the Trials of Apollo, a couple of the Magnus Chase ones but I read all of the Heroes of Olympus series, and the Heroes of Olympus series are some damn good storytelling in those.
Really? Oh,
Oh
now I
yeah.
need to read them. I have such a long list of books that I need to read.
Oh man, yeah. And I think it really does give it really would be I give Disney so much content for so many years, and I don't think that this fan base is ever gonna get tired of more Percy Jackson content.
I don't think so either because like he really has something here with
Oh yeah.
the Greek god mythology and then playing off of that. That is
Hmm.
something that is always going to be a good story.
Oh yeah. Uh, uh, I'll I think there's we are past our perfect castings is it, and Whitney also asked, do we like the changes that they've made from the books? Which I'm trying to think. There's only two main ones that I can think of that they've done on changes, and that is one is that is having Hephaestus appear, and the other being that the and that we got four pearls instead of three, which is but and I'm very happy with both of those changes. Is there any other changes you noticed?
Wait, from my watch, there are no pearls. I'm very
Oh,
confused.
have you not seen the latest episode that came out last night at 9 p.m.?
Oh, you know what? Maybe.
Oh man.
Wait, I might hold on. Now I gotta look it up.
I
Because
have
they were supposed to get a pearl at Medusa's, and I was very
no.
confused about the whole,
So
there's no talk of
so
pearls whatsoever.
so um the pearls are the they don't get them at them from different places. Is that was a movie thing, and in the books they got 'cause they were a gift from Poseidon, and which the latest episode is where they go into the Lotus Casino. I know. Did you see that episode?
The last one I saw was with Ares.
Ah, then yeah, you haven't seen that one yet. I'll
Damn, I'm sorry. That
It's
is
all
my
right.
mistake.
It's all right. It's
Because
all
I
right.
watched them before I guess it came out and not realizing it was
That's
Tuesday.
yeah. That's definitely all right. Oh, you'll when you watch that though, you'll get one of your wishes, which is more of Hermes. So
Oh, oh,
that's gonna
okay.
be
Yay.
good. More of
No, yeah,
Lin-Manuel
I was very
Miranda.
confused because there have been no pearls whatsoever, and I was really interested to see how he was going to go about that because that's how they get out of the underworld.
Hmm.
So I was really curious if he was just changing that whole thing altogether or how he was doing that, but I guess I
Yeah.
needed to watch another episode.
Yeah. So, how I'm pretty sure or in the original books, it wasn't that they got them from different locations. They were all just a gift from Poseidon that he gets in Santa Monica. Which in the episode you did watch, they mentioned how you're supposed to go meet a Poseidon in Santa Monica. Um,
Yes. It's been a while since I've read the books, so
yeah,
I really wanted to
I
be able
understand.
to read it as it was coming out, but
It's
Ramen
understandable.
takes your time away.
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, they do change it from having three pearls to four, which I really like that. So we can actually have all four of them leave the underworld.
Yeah, that's interesting because in the books, one of them has to stay, and Grover decides to stay
Mhm.
with Persephone.
Yeah. And obviously I've already said I really like that they included Hephaestus. Is there from what you at least of all the episodes you've seen, is there any other changes remember them making?
Um, I don't
It,
think so.
there's one thing I can think of that's very small change, but it doesn't actually affect the plot at all. But having that the Oracle appears as Gabe.
Oh,
That's
yes. Yes.
which that
And
was hilarious. I mean, weird.
I didn't I didn't like that they kind of left out the whole fact of like telling Percy that's why her mom was with such a bad guy like this to hide him from all of the monsters and
Mhm.
stuff because he's a kid of the big three. But I do like that they changed it so that the mom isn't some poor mom that's in this bad
Mhm.
situation. Like she yells back at
Oh
Gabe.
yeah, yeah.
And I
Like,
that made me so
and
happy.
she's able to give the same energy that he is, and I love that so much.
Yes,
That was,
yes.
and that's like one of the big reasons why I say that Virginia Knoll is so good as Sally Ollie because of that.
Oh, yes. And then when they're right outside the camp and she just stands there and she turns to Grover and you can just see it's about to happen and she's like, "You swear on your life you will
Yes.
protect my only son." Like how serious she gets.
Oh yeah.
It's such great acting. She was an amazing. And I can't wait to see more
Mhm.
of her.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Um, I hope that we add in that she continues into the seasons after this as appearing again. Unlike with unlike with the movie, which they got her out of they got her out of the underworld in the movie, but then and there's she's not seen in the second one. Not I don't even know if they mentioned her at all in the second movie,
I don't think so. I
which
don't
is
think so.
so strange.
Well,
Oh,
Logan Lerman, he was looking old enough to be 18. So,
Well, um, well, I definitely enjoyed that. Enjoyed everything with Sally. The one thing that I did find a little strange is so all they said to Percy for why I she can't come to Camp Half Blood is a human. They didn't actually explain to him why humans cannot pass through into a Camp Half Blood. They just said she's human, so she can't come. I'm like, great. Hey, that's probably not very helpful to him.
oh, well, doesn't Grover say that it's like a magical border?
Not in this. Quite literally just says, when Percy asks, "Can't you can't come?" Grover just says, "She's human." Human. I'm like, well, that doesn't actually explain to him. You could say humans can't pass through the magical mist, but no, he's just gonna say hey, just human. I mean, that's the only nitpick I could have for early on with Sally. I really enjoyed when Percy and Sally are at the cabin together. Those are some great moments.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And it's
And again, Virginia's acting is amazing because she's like sitting here and her son is telling her that he thinks that he's losing his mind, that he's actually crazy. And she's like, has to explain to him this, all of these stories that everybody obviously
Mhm,
is like, oh, these are fake. Yeah, they're actually real. Like, how do you
mhm.
explain that without sounding like a loony bin? You can't.
Yeah. And I love the which is like he wasn't human. He was a god, your father. And other person's like, you dated Jesus Christ?
I know. And then, like, as she's telling him, you can see in her face and hear in her voice that she, like, is realizing how ridiculous this sounds.
Oh yeah. Oh man. And I love the look of Camp Half-Blood in this. It looks so big compared to what you saw in the on the movies.
Oh, yes, they did a very good job. And they did a really good job on the special effects for all of the cabins.
Oh
They're
yeah.
nice and big and like Parthenon looking
Hmm.
Greek cabins for all of the gods. And I love that they even have cabins for the big three, even though the big three aren't supposed to have children. It's like just in
Oh
case.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it makes sense since and I think Camp Half-Blood is supposed to be also been around for a long time. I have been like before the big three decided on that pact to not have children. So
Yeah,
so there
there's
was a time
definitely
when they had a lot of kids from the big three.
some running around.
Oh yeah. I think else needs to be talked about. Um, I love that they made a point to show the water coming out of the ocean to ocean pulling Percy after he falls out of the arch in St. Louis as in the book that's not it's not actually explained how he got to the ocean. And if you look at how much space is between the arch and the ocean, he would not have just fallen straight down into the ocean.
Yeah, there's a lot. Something would have to have reached out and grab him, most definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I liked that, but I didn't like how very little they put in of like Percy has always been a very good swimmer, attracted to the water,
Mhm.
can hold his breath underwater for ungodly amounts of
Yeah.
time. I don't like that they kind of just skidded over that.
Yeah, they kind of within this show, it feels almost like I Percy doesn't like being in the water.
Right? Yeah. Which I guess
So
they could connect that to the fact that like his dad is Poseidon,
yeah,
the
and he's
sea god, and that he's
very
never been there for
resentful.
his yeah.
Yeah, and I could definitely say that. I thought that I thought when he did go into the water, that the nymph in the water was looked pretty looked pretty good for live action nymph um, and I thought the voice was great. I ate on that when he talks to her in the water. Are and another thing I really want to mention is um Grover's manipulation of Ares is that
Right?
was so good.
So good. I love it because Aries is very full of himself. He's very you all you have to do is flatter him and you will get whatever you need from
Yep.
Aries. I loved it. It was so perfect.
Oh man. So oh. They didn't actually get anything out of Ares, even though I thought they did. It's they he led them to think someone is the lightning thief that is not the lightning thief. That's
Oh,
a little bit of a spoiler
it's
for
a
the
spoiler.
latest
You can't be
episode.
talking yet for the people that haven't read
Yeah.
the books. So
No, I mean, that's a little bit of a spoiler for the latest episode as they
oh,
say who
the
they
one I
think
haven't
that
seen yet.
yeah, they say who they think that I think that um Ares was alluding to. But I think, to be honest, either the episode where he's at first gets to camp, or the episode with Ares and Hephaestus. One of those is probably my favorite episode so far. Are they're both really good episodes.
I don't even I really like the Aries episode, but I really don't think I could pick a favorite
Yeah.
because they're all just so good.
Oh yeah. It's is there anything like for the like as we get close to the end that you are really hoping that they actually do adapt out of the books? There's one particular thing that I'm really hoping they adapt, and I think they might be, but I also am a little bit worried that Disney may not allow it. Is there anything that any like moments you particularly want to see them adapt?
Are you talking about for this particular season or for
Well,
future seasons with
either this particular season or in future seasons.
so I think it's going to happen just based off of small moments we've gotten from this season that I really like that they completely kind of left out in those movies that they made. Um, the when Percy's dreaming and this voice
Oh yeah.
that the people that haven't read the books don't know who it is yet, but we know
Yeah.
who it is. Um, I really love that they put that in here because
Oh yeah.
that's a an ongoing theme from the first to the last book. Like that's the big whole point of the entire series. So I'm really
Mhm.
excited to watch that progress and play
And
through
they also might have teased a bit of who that character is um
with some
well
history with
it's some
Aries.
yeah.
Yeah,
the
they
uh
did.
the thing that I particularly would like to see them adapt and this is like for this season that I'm like part of me is like I don't know if Disney would be willing to let it, but it would create such suspense if they actually are willing to do it, and that is adapt Krusty's mattress store. Do you know what I mean? I mean that this is Krusty's the guy
I
who
do remember that. Is that this book
stretches.
or is that a
It's yeah, that's this book.
oh,
He'll either stretch people if they're too short, or he'll cut pieces
the
off of them if they're
Mattress King. I remember that now.
yeah. I
Yes.
I really hope they adapt that because I think that'll make for a really fun scene. But part of me is like, would Disney allow such a dark thing? In it?
I mean, Disney can't surprise you. They might,
Mhm.
it's just stretching. I don't think it's gonna actually,
Yeah, I don't think
I
they would
mean, we
show
have
it anything.
Medusa turning people to stone.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think they would actually show anything, but just as the thought of a character like that, I think uh might be a little bit too much for what or Disney. But if they do actually do it, I think I have a perfect casting that they actually that I would hope they do. Who have you ever watched the TV show Supernatural?
no, it's on my
Yeah.
list to watch
So
because I love Vampire Diaries, so I'm sure I'll love Supernatural.
um so this actor, Julian Richings, played a death in Supernatural. And he looks very similar to how Krusty looks in the Percy Jackson books. This is how the character looks in the books.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think that would be a really good casting if they end up doing that scene.
that would be a good pick. Talking about this, I completely forgot like how much is actually in the first book. There's a
Oh
lot.
yeah, yeah. I like there are so many moments in the show where I'm like, I forgot that happened in the book. I didn't remember at first the mother of monsters, but then
Right? Me
she
too.
appeared
I
and I'm
was like,
like,
oh,
I really enjoyed seeing her appear.
I know. That's another thing they did so well is that in the book, there's not a free moment. They are constantly
Oh yeah.
fighting danger. They're constantly fighting something everywhere they turn around. And they really did that in this season. They did a really good job of that because I completely
Yeah.
forgot about her too.
Oh yeah. I think I well I was doing it. Um, it's it was really funny to me how Annabeth is basically stalking a Percy as soon as he gets to camp. And, um, like she even followed him to the bathroom. Which is a little bit strange. Just because she
Well,
wanted help with capture the flag.
well, it wasn't just that we learned later on.
Mhm.
It's more of a she watches
Oh yeah.
everybody that's
Oh
new
yeah.
because she's promised that somebody
Mhm.
new is going to take her on a quest to prove to herself
Which
to her mom.
it's honestly a little surprising that with how smart the Annabeth is and how good of a fighter she is, that none of the other campers when they've gone on a quest have been like, oh, I'll take you. Like I feel like at some point one of them would be like you're really good at everything you do. You would probably be an asset.
Well, quests aren't really thrown around left and right with them. It's very rare to actually get a
Mhm.
quest.
Uh, the it was really fun seeing Percy, even though he didn't understand it was him at the time. I'd be able to fight back against Clarice, but Ace and the other bullies by sending all the toilet water at them.
Right? Yeah, that was good. That was another detail that they took straight from the book
Mhm.
and put into
Oh
the
yeah,
show.
I when we are having to capture the flag, I just seeing Percy all by himself, just doing random stuff was just so much fun.
Just waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, flossing, and petting a tiny animal. Oh, we even saw him peeing and whistling while, while doing it. Oh man. Oh, what? Oh, and from the first at the end of the first episode, I was thinking about while I was watching it, and I think it's a funny idea. Yeah, I imagine the Minotaur are when he was fighting I think Sally, I imagine he was thinking to himself, really, a red coat? Oh, do you have to be so stereotypical to me?
Probably, yeah.
Like I imagine imagine since this is in present day, people have probably done things like that to him a lot throughout the years.
Probably, yeah.
At some point, he probably start getting annoyed at the fact that they keep doing that. Oh man, yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about from the show? I think what else there is to talk about.
Um, Annabeth.
Oh yeah.
I she's great. She's
Oh
and
yeah.
I like the subtleness of them
Mm,
throwing in with the arch, and she's like going crazy over it, spouting all of these
mhm.
facts. That's like a big thing with her is architecture. She's wants to be
Oh,
an architect when she grows up. So I love that
yeah.
they sprinkled that in there ever so subtly.
Mhm. I love how versus well, I don't think there was much of this in the movies. Is if a Annabeth in this, you really get all of her making fun of Percy, and I love that I don't think we got much of that in the movies. At least I don't remember anything like that. However, they got along,
No.
but there wasn't like a lot of personality there in the movies. I really enjoyed that. I also really enjoyed seeing her try to save Percy from the um Midas Ice throne on that Hephaestus set up, and then her conversation with Hephaestus be like, he's not like you. That was such a good speech.
Oh, yes. And it was so powerful, I guess
Yeah.
I could say, to just watch this friendship grow.
Oh yeah. Definitely definitely. Um and also Grover is so good and it's like he seems to a lot of times be the voice of reason between the two, and that's and it works so well. I love that they actually showed him going to the council of satyrs by Camp Half Blood, which I don't think that they really got into that at all in the movie version, and that makes for giving him so much more to do with his character, and it was so funny. And I the this is a little bit of a spoiler for you though. It's not actually a big part of the episode, so I'm not so I don't think it's I worry about. But so the truck that they go into at the end of the episode with Ares, it has a whole bunch of animals in it. That's the reason why it smells, and um they let loose all of the animals in Las Vegas. Is in the middle of the road, and Percy is like he's worried that a assigned battle happened because all these animals are loose, and Grover's just like. Eh, I gave them a satyr's blessing, so they'll all be safe when we get if when they to get back to the wild. And Percy's like, I meant the humans. He's like, oh, the humans. Well, they might not be. He has no care about the humans at all. I
He really
love that.
doesn't.
I love
That's
that.
That's another thing that I haven't seen that I remember them
Mhm.
getting into the truck from the end of the last
Oh
episode
yeah.
I watched, but I haven't seen that part and I remember it
Oh
from the
yeah.
book. I'm really glad that
So
they
good.
included that.
Yeah, there's and they had they did, I think, though I won't spoil anything out of the Lotus Casino part. I think they did it the Lotus Casino so much better than the movies, right? And that you did and that they did it in a way where it wasn't because they just dumbly ate a bunch of stuff up when they went in there. Yeah, there's actually like a good reason for how things go in there. So that's which is really nice. I think actually that was originally in the book that they did eat stuff, but up in there, but they changed that in this side that makes so much more sense, I think.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
very interested to see how they do that because yes,
Yeah.
they did. It is a casino full of fun, and then you have this lotus flower that
Oh yeah.
is part of Greek lore.
Yeah. It's I think I I don't know who I think for the last few episodes since obviously we're gonna be going to the underworld and meeting Hades. I wonder who they cast for Hades because I feel like they could have a really fun time with that.
I know, dude. If I was an actor, like I'm not a very good
Yeah.
actor, but if I could be a good actor, I would love to play like a Hades type role because
Oh yeah.
he's my favorite villain. He's my favorite
Yeah.
villain of all
Like
time.
oh yeah. And to be honest, I think though I don't know if the actor would do it because he's probably a very overplaying the a devil kind of role, but the actor who starred in the Lucifer TV show, I would love to see him be Hades.
I haven't watched that show. It looks good
He's
though.
yeah he has this very suave personality, but obviously, but also a little bit of a playboy in there. And it makes for a really fun character. I would love something like that. But there's many other actors who would also probably do a fantastic job. Though this might be a weird one, but I could honestly see Jack Black doing a really fun on Hades.
That would be interesting. Yeah. He could he is such an amazing actor that he could make that
Mhm.
role in his own way.
Oh yeah, and it would be they could make for a fun reference then for to his they did for his band and the Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny since Satan appears in that
Yeah.
to make it make kind of a reference there. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. Um, trying to think anything else. I don't really think there's anything else we need to talk about. But yeah, I'm very excited for the end of the season. And I'm really hopeful that they renew this for another season. And just there's some really fun places they can take the show in the future.
Oh yes, definitely. They've done great, and I think if they keep doing
Uh,
what they're doing, they're gonna have no
mhm.
problem with renewing
Oh yeah,
seasons.
I think I'm thinking of the all the books. I think one that I particularly am very excited for when they get to is the I can't I think the one where they go into the labyrinth and I think I'll be really fun to see them traversing the labyrinth for a lot of the book of the season.
That's I think that's either the third or the fourth book.
Yeah. I think it's the
Yeah.
fourth book, but I can't remember the exact name. Like I can remember the full names of all the other books. For some reason, I cannot remember what the full name of that book. Yeah, Lightning Thief, A Sea of Monsters, Titan's Curse, that book, and then The Last Olympian. And I can't remember the full name of that. Huh.
I can't remember it either. I'm really excited to see the Thalia storyline.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so good. And I imagine just like with these three kids, they're probably gonna have a great casting for her too.
Oh yeah,
And
they
then
are.
and also it's gonna be nice when we finally see Nico. Do you remember the
Nico.
character of Nico?
Nico. I think so. It's starting to come up. Say some things to help
I
it pop in my
To be
brain.
honest, I don't actually remember a lot about the character. I just remember really enjoying him in the books.
Yeah, I vaguely remember him. I can't stop thinking about Rachel. Do you remember Rachel?
Rachel. No, I don't.
She's a human friend that he makes, and she ends up becoming an oracle.
Okay, that's cool. So,
Yeah,
oh,
like everything she draws like comes true. And
oh,
she has like no knowledge of any of this, and Percy meets her.
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that too.
Uh, and for the second season particularly, it's gonna be cool to see Tyson.
It is.
I wonder how they're gonna try and do him and oh.
Hopefully better than they did in the movie. Oh, that was yikes. Wow.
I did like the actor, how he acted, the character acted in the movie though. He didn't look great, but I liked how the actor who played him.
Oh yeah, the actor did great. The special effects team did
Yeah,
terrible. The makeup team did terrible.
I saw one person online. I mentioned how one thing they did change from the books for the show is that they is and they did the same thing with at least the first movie. The character did appear in the second one, but there's a character at Camp Half Blood who has like 1,000 eyes. Um, if I remember, I don't remember what the character's name was, but be honest, as someone who does not like eyes, I'm glad that they didn't include them.
Yeah, I don't remember that, so it must have been a very small thing that wasn't too big of a deal. But yeah, that would be too creepy to look at.
Let me see if I can if I want talk you. The character is Argus.
Argus, the name sounds familiar now.
Yeah. He is described as a typical blonde surfer dude.
Yes, yes, it's coming to mind.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that they didn't adapt him because I did not need to see that. I did not enjoy seeing that in the second movie.
No, I don't think anybody needs to see that. No.
Oh man.
We don't need to
Um,
see any special effects with eyes. Okay, let's
yeah,
just stay away from
yeah,
that.
yeah. Uh, um, they could for Tyson I said just put a whole bunch of makeup covering his actual eyes and then create an eye out of makeup for him.
Get a good prosthetic and
Yeah,
a
that's
good
what I got.
makeup artist to do it. Like, please, because
Oh yeah.
whoever you got for that second movie was terrible.
No. One thing I don't remember being in the book that they did in the second movie that I really did not like, and I hope they do not do that with the second season. This is having Annabeth be racist to Cyclopses.
Well,
Like that was a weird thing for the movie. I don't
that
remember that being in the book.
No, it because it's a whole there's a whole reason behind her being like that because she almost got killed by a
Mhm.
Cyclops, and I think somebody she knew very closely got killed by a Cyclops. Um, so I do remember that from the book, which I'm sorry, John, it's a kind of a big thing, so I think it's gonna be inevitable.
Maybe I just remember particularly how she acted about it in the second movie was just like she was constantly being an asshole about it.
In the book too. Yeah, she's very mean in the book to
It's
him.
like, and
So is Percy, which I'm actually really excited to see because I think this actor
seriously.
could do a very good job
Oh
of
yeah.
being
I
the dickhead brother
mm.
that is resentful towards you.
An actor that I would definitely like to see appear sometime in this as it's only because of the Adam Project, but put Ryan Reynolds in there as some character since they made this the big thing about how Walker Stormo is basically a small Ryan Reynolds.
I know because he's from that movie, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the little kid.
he's
Okay.
the little kid in that.
Yeah, he that's what I'm talking about earlier with like the smart assness of Percy Jackson. I'm not really getting it from him,
Mhm.
but I know he can do it because he
Oh
does it in
yeah,
that movie so perfectly. Maybe he's trying to differentiate the
yeah,
characters, but I need a little bit more from him. I need
yeah.
some more
I can definitely do
quippiness.
that. Yeah, and I imagine when we get another season, he's probably gonna be even more in tuned into the character, so character show you'll probably get more of that as the show goes on.
Yeah. And
Uh,
as he gets older, I'm sure
uh,
it'll with puberty, it'll
mhm.
get more and more.
Yeah. So last question I have before ending this episode off. What are some other book series that you would like to see get this like Percy Jackson treatment and where they become a TV show?
Wow, interesting. That's a really hard question because all of my favorite book series are already TV shows or are in the process of
Mhm.
making TV shows or have made movies. Um, you go first and let me think about it.
So, this is I've already made a video about this on TikTok, but a few of them that I had from there that I really want to see. Um, one is the 39 Clues which is um a book series that is that well Rick Riordan didn't write all of them. He was very involved in the series. It was it's about these kids who after their parents die, they find out about this basically treasure hunt for the family's fortune, and they have to go around the world trying to find iron clues towards the treasure, and they have to fight their own family along the way because their family also wants the fortune and origin. So and um, I absolutely loved that series as a kid and reading it. So I really want to see that get adapted to either a book or either a TV show or a movie series at some point. And another one is Lorien Legacies, which actually already had a adaptation with and but it was only of the first book with the I'm Number Four movie. Have you ever heard of that?
I have. That is a good movie. I want to read the book. I
Yeah.
do.
So the book series is so much better than the movie. I absolutely love the book series, and
That's how it always is with books and
and I
movies.
would love to get I would love to see that get another try at getting an adaptation because that's I had so much fun as a kid or as a teenager reading that series. it was the first it was the first book series I ever read where the characters cursed in it, and when I read that, I was like, they're allowed to do that in books. Because before that, I only ever heard ever either read books myself that were had nothing had no cursing in it, or were read to by my parents, and so either the books that they read me either didn't have any, or they took them out out as they read them. But yeah, that was I absolutely loved that series. I think it could work really well as a TV show. And they go to some crazy places with that series, and it is and have some fantastic characters, and the style and tone is so much fun. And let me see and the last one I'll mention here, which if anyone wants to hear the rest of my ones that I want to see, you can go to my TikTok, because I have a whole video that has eight different books and book series that I want to see get adapted. But the last one I'll mention here is I would like another try at the Inkheart series areas, because I loved the Inkheart movie, and I want to see them try again, and get the rest of those books adapted after. Have you ever heard of the of Inkheart?
Um, is that the movie with Brendan Fraser in it?
Yeah, where
I
Brandon Fraser, and he brings characters to life out of books.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm sure I watched it when I was a kid, but I have no memory of
Yeah,
the movie.
he basically like one night while he was reading his kids a bedtime story, that or the characters out of the book he was reading just came to life, and it was found out after that anytime he reads something, I it can come to life, and that I so that and I would love to see that either that get adapted again, and they continue it with all four, I think, books there are in the series. Here's because I love the idea of of characters being brought out of books into reality.
Yeah, that sounds, I'm gonna have to read these books before I watch the Brendan Fraser movie because that sounds right up my alley
Oh yeah.
of genres in books.
One thing that I remember in the Brendan Fraser film that when I watched it as a kid, I was so surprised by was they got access to be able to use elements from Harry Potter are in it, and they as he not only can and bring characters to life, but he can bring items out of books, and so. There's a scene where they bring a Dumbledore's lectern from Hogwarts or it's into real life, I just so that they have something to put books on as he reads things to bring them out into life. It was so which I remember having a lot of fun with that as a kid, and being so surprised that they actually got to use something out of Harry Potter.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Even if it's a really small thing like
Right?
Dumbledore's lectern.
It's such a tiny little item out of everything you could have picked.
Yeah,
It's probably the cheapest thing they could have used.
probably. Uh, um, have you thought of any that you would like to I see?
So I was struggling there for a while because all of my favorite stuff are already movies, already
Hmm.
TV shows, or are in the process of being made TV shows. But this one, it's already movies, but I think right now if we went back and did a TV show, they could do a really, really good job with it. And that's the Narnia Chronicles.
Oh yeah, I loved of the movies. It's I haven't actually read all the books. But yeah, I remember absolutely loving those movies as a kid. And I was sad when they didn't and adapt all of them.
Yeah.
There actually is a Narnia show in development at Netflix X, and I'm very interested what's gonna happen with that as the person making it is Greta Gerwig, who did the
Oh,
Barbie movie.
shut up. Yeah, she's a fantastic director.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, they would do. John, you just made me so excited.
Oh man. Um, just just because I think it would be a but there's I'll mention one more of the or of these things I would like to see it adapted in movies and TV just because I think it's kind of fun reaction out of me when I say what it is. So this is one that's definitely a very little kid thing. That'd probably be best for us done as like an animated thing, but it's a book series called The Creature from My Closet, and basically this show or this book series had this kid who when I think it was either when he put action figures or books or something in his closet, they would combine and come to life. So you would have stuff like a I think it was one of them might have been like a Frankenstein Willy Wonka. There was a and but particularly the one that I thought I always loved what so much was is Wookie Potter, which is a Wookie from Star Wars that is also Harry Potter.
Shut up. That I need to see this.
I
That
mean,
is hysterical.
let me look at this up to show your picture. Um,
And he talks like a Wookiee?
I don't remember. I remember if he did. If he talked like a Wookiee or not. But let me see here. Here's a picture.
That is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I found that the series at the library when I was a kid. I was like, this is amazing concept. Another one is Batnezer, which is Ebenezer Scrooge mixed with Batman.
Oh my God, stop it. What?
Um, there is Pinocchio, which is Pinocchio and Dracula. There is Catfish, which is Katniss Everdeen as a mermaid.
Oh,
Mm.
interesting.
There's
Catfish. That's funny.
and there is Lord of the Hat, which is Gollum mixed with the Cat in the Hat.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I think this would be, like this definitely is a very childish series, but I would have so much fun seeing it get adapted at some point into either movies or a cartoon show, maybe like on Cartoon Network or something.
Yeah. Oh, that would definitely have to be like an Adult Swim type thing.
I don't know about Adult Swim because the because it's definitely not a adult rated show or adult rated books. It's very childish books. So I think it would be better suited for Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, not the Adult Swim part.
Well, they could make it adult
Maybe.
like.
Maybe but yeah, I think I'll be a really fun thing to see it adapted, and I mean they could have it that every episode ode is like a different combination of two different characters, or is it just go really wacky like with characters that they would put together.
They could, but that would be a lot of licensing
Yeah,
discussions.
yeah, that's what the could definitely be a problem for it.
Yeah.
Well, is there any final things you'd like to say before we end this off?
The show is amazing, and that's
Uh,
it.
yes. All right. Um, Now, there is one last thing we gotta do before editing off, which is I asked Whitney what the characters that she found to be perfect casting, and she said Mr. D, Medusa, Ares, and Grover. Which I would definitely agree. Those are all
Yeah,
perfect castings.
I feel like we talked about every single casting.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah,
good.
yeah. I don't know if I don't think there's any casting in the show where I particularly disliked it.
I know, it's all really good.
Yeah. Oh, and, like there's probably only one character that I disliked, and that's only because the character's supposed to be disliked, and that's Gabe.
Yeah, right?
Fuck Gabe.
Fuck them. I
Yeah,
know.
he's.
Such
Oh
a piece of
man.
shit. Ugh.
Yeah, like how dare he go on national TV just because he's sad that that his car was stolen. Like seriously, dude,
Because he
it's
has
a
no life.
car.
Yeah, he has no life.
I really appreciate the difference between the movie and this as in the movie they basically said that he was the main person paying for things on the apartment, so they had to follow his rules, also, versus
Yeah.
in this they made a point to be like, yeah, he's not making money at all.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do shit. And that's the whole point of him is
Yeah.
that he's a piece of shit, stinky motherfucker
Mhm.
to hide Percy, which they
uh,
did a good job with.
there's one what well but I really liked I right at the beginning I as is about to go into the apartment I have a little interaction between him and the landlord and I love the of how the landlord is just like I'm sorry that you have to go in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because Percy apologizes for him and he's like, no,
I hope
I'm leaving. You're going in. I should be apologizing to you.
I hope in future seasons if we ever do go back to this apartment, though I don't remember if we ever actually ever do go back to their mom's house in the books except for the first book, but I would love to see a more or interactions between a Percy and a landlord or where it's just like this just like so sorry for or Percy having to live there.
Well, they'd be good interactions because after this,
Oh
she
yeah.
kicks Gabe out because there's no point in having him anymore.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Whitney, for sending in those thoughts of yours and giving us some things to talk about. I really enjoyed getting to talk about Percy Jackson and with you, Annabelle. Also, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I've been itching for this show ever since it got announced, and so I'm very
Oh
excited
yeah.
that it's here and we're watching it and talking about
Mhm.
it.
Oh yeah. It's so much fun. And it's so nostalgic. I getting to watch and talk about show based on a book series that I had so much fun with growing up, and like I don't think I've experienced anything like this where a feeling like this it's since it's like the Harry Potter series, which I didn't even have that same feeling with that because I was a child then, so I didn't have the nostalgic aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so much fun to getting to see this and get talk about all of this. Um, to anyone listening, look out for at the end of the Percy Jackson show. I'll be coming out with another episode. That one I'm planning on having my friend Lindsay come on and talk about. That might not come out though for a while. Even though there's only a few episodes of the show left. Just because we have it's basically confirmed now that my mom and I are moving at the beginning of February, either beginning or mid February. So it'll probably be a while after we move that we actually get back. I get back into making episodes, but when I finally get back into making episodes, to have that episode to look forward to. Also, in the weeks leading up to that, we have um coming out both another 70s Hawk review with Keith, one that was an episode that Keith particularly absolutely loved and loved. I liked it too, but he had some absolutely fantastic thoughts on the episode, and also will be having a episode reviewing a film called Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls, which is a small indie film that I found last year that aired that it was an amazing experience as I don't think I ever before this I just felt like a film was made particularly for me, and that I watched this and I was like, yes, everything about this is me. This is I forget but I'll be having a review of that coming. And ever since I watched that, I was like, I'm gonna have to do something with this on my podcast. But yeah, that's everything that's coming up on the podcast. All right. Thank you everyone for listening. If you like Scam Analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I love your thoughts on the Percy Jackson show, so please let me know. If you'd like to listen more from me, please subscribe. Many more Gamma analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Smash Joey John, signing off.